Well, next up, I am super excited to introduce you to Mary Mashburn. She's going to join me on the red carpet. Hello. Mary's book is Aging in Place, Navigating the Maze of Long-Term Care. Mary, tell us about your book and who is it for?
My book is all about the different ways that children of aging parents can work with their parents to make a smooth transition and to make sure that the documents are in place so that things can be as smooth and their parents get the best care possible.
And this is while their parents are still living.
Oh, yes.
Because you talk a lot about this book, about the maze of long-term care and then how much harder it is if you
don't do
prepared.
anything. Yes.
Yeah.
Many people come to our office when their parent is in the hospital. Well, what do I do now? Where am I supposed to put mom? Oh, and it's really sad.
Yeah. And I know one of the messages for you that's so important is obviously all of the legal and the estate planning, but there's also, for your readers, there's also their own journey.
Right.
And so talk a little bit about that.
Well, in my professional life, you almost have to have a detachment or you'll go nuts. And so part of the story I talked about my two friends, Pat Howard and Florence Karpowitz, and the journeys that they went on. Pat is no longer with us. She passed away under hospice care, and Florence is going to be 92 in December. And she hardly knows people, but she did know me on Sunday, and that made me feel good.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, let's talk about this question from Bobby in Nokesville. You wrote your book in about 9 weeks, and then you took another 8 or 9 weeks to get it edited, published, end up right back here. Bobby wants to know, in those 4 months, what was the best thing about writing your book? Because I know you had a lot going on during those 4 months.
I did. Writing the book was almost an escape from all the other pressures that I had going through, and it was really nice. It was a legacy that I wanted to leave, and it really got me through a lot of hard times.
And you got this book out. You had some health challenges. You had some business challenges. You had a lot going on. How were you able to not get sidetracked? Colette from Cleveland says, how do you focus on your book and not spend a lot of time being sidetracked? How did you do it?
Not sleeping much.
That was not the answer I was expecting. This is what I want to say about your process. You may not know this. We haven't talked about it. But what I saw you do is when you were working on your book, you would show up 100%. And when you weren't, you were gone 100%.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right? And I thought that was such a beautiful tribute to your ideal reader, because when you were there, you were really there, gave it your all. And if that meant you had less time, then you had to be more efficient. And I think that's one of your superpowers. I don't know if that's something that shows up other places in your life, but I think that might be how you manage it. What do you think?
I think you're probably right.
When you're doing it, you're all in. And I think like anyone can take a little bit from that is when you're trying to manage whatever, things in your personal life, things in your business life, writing a book, trying to do a little bit of everything, you end up doing everything subpar. But if you can take a page from Mary's playbook and when you're working on one thing, be 100% present. You might be less distracted, but at least when you get to it, there were a couple deadlines you squeaked out.
Yeah.
We didn't know you were going to make them. But then every time you would do, it was A+ top-notch work because you really were there. So this book is amazing. Aging in Place by Mary Mashburn, Navigating the Maze of Long-Term Care. 2 things I want to tell you about this. Your parents are going to age. Now is the time to read the book. You don't have to wonder. You will need the message in this book. The second thing is that the amount of expertise that Mary brings to this and is able to simplify a very complex topic, I think is something you will find beneficial. How many years of experience in this industry?
Over 30.
Yeah. So it took her 4 months and then 30 years to write this book. So 4 months to get it down on paper, 30 years to do all this information gathering for you, and to really be the person who can help you solve the maze of long-term care. So great job, Mary. Thank you.